Hello, Prim friends. So I was passing through Berlin, Ohio today to pick up some trees for our farm, and I wanted to stop at Carlisle Antiques and let you know about this location if you are coming to the shows next weekend here for Simple Goods and earlier times. This is a shop that's been really popular, and it is one that I have not yet brought you a video from. So we'll go around and do a couple different areas here in the shop. It was a reminder to me when I was at Gathered Treasures and in the, I think it was Vintage Chick booth, that she is located here as well. So I wanted to make sure to come in and give you a peek in this antique mall.
Okay, thank you.
So again, love the ladder with the lights hanging through it. We are definitely going to be doing that. I have some changes that I want to make to my booth in Seville, and that's going to take priority right now for our open house that is on the last weekend in April, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, same weekend that the big shows are going on. So April 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's a neat 3-gallon dragonfly crock up there. And here a big number 6 bee sting. Of course, the number 3 or the number 6 represents the number of gallons. Love the color of that butter churn up there in that really pretty blue, and have a nice surprise for the shop as well. Picked up a beautiful blue wooden trunk that I'm really excited about bringing in for our special open house. So I'll probably do this video in some clips in some different areas. This one looks like some tools and tin pieces. Here is a candle mold. Looks like they have 78 or 79 on that. There's all kinds of neat pieces. Galvanized pails and wash buckets and things all outside. Some of the vintage red painted garden chairs. Some redware pieces that are contemporary. Some butter paddles. Nice primitive child's rocking horse. They have $7.99 on that. Beautiful early finish. Some Arnett Santas here as well. There's a nice big one. That one's $3.14. This one for $2.89 with the feather tree. This one looks like he has a lantern. Some neat furniture pieces. You see the blue that's in that table? That is like the blue in the wooden trunk that I got. And even the inside of it has that amazing blue as well. Here's an early throw. That one's at $1.89. Here's a big wooden bowl, $1.19 with the lip on that. Nice out of round, which is what you want to find. So I would love to hear in the comments down below who's coming to the show. I know there are several of our viewers who will be making the trek. There's a neat sifter or sieve that looks like $75. There's a Jersey coffee box up there for $8.50. A pretty 2-gallon crock. And then that amazing chew mail pouch tobacco thermometer for $4,500. That's quite stunning. It's a red candle box and a Hamilton and Jones number 2 crock. These again also having the lettering on them. Look at that one up there with the eagle. And an enormous bowl up on top of the cabinet. That says $425. Donahoe, Parkersburg, West Virginia crock, $325. More large crocks here. Wow. Quite a collection in this booth. There's a striper. Those are always really popular with the 3 stripes. Nice wooden bowl for $175. I'm just so thrilled with the things that I have been putting aside and collecting for our special open house. Cannot wait. And now I'll be out running and doing the errands on Friday, doing videos that last Friday on the 25th, but I will be planning on being in the shop on Saturday and Sunday, the 26th and 27th. Of course, we'll have to take a break at some point to go run for lunch, but there's an amazing El Patron Mexican restaurant just down the road from Seville Antiques, which I can highly recommend. So if you time your day that way. Remember also, Bill Romey's shop is just about 20 minutes or so from Seville Antiques. And then the Cluttered Coop is also open that same weekend as all the shows. So if you've watched those videos and always wondered what that was like in person, definitely worth making the stop there at Ariane's shop. Lots of fun things happening that last weekend in April. Now, of course, if you missed the shows, the shops are still open. Check out the Cluttered Coop's website. They do have a special page for their shop as well. I like that corner piece is interesting back there with that really crackly finish. Some nice yellowware bowls and Roseville bowls. Cute little Christmas tree covered in the vintage kitchenware in the red and the green. Seeing a 3-sided, oh, maybe that's more of a cutting board on that surface. Lots of wear there. Here's a booth that has some of the braided table mats, place mats, the coverlet pieces as tablecloths and things. Those are imports, but you know, they're way less expensive. They're not as precious as an actual antique piece. So if you're using it for a on a kitchen table or something and you're worried about a spill. Not such a problem when it's an imported piece that can be thrown in the washing machine and maybe even eventually can be pitched. There's a Lieutenant Moses vintage lamp with the shade for $169. That is a great deal right there. That's a beautiful lamp. And they do have the tobacco cloth curtains here as well. And then the larger rugs. I will find out before I leave if they ship, so hang on. There's a large double galvanized wash tub. They have 110 on that. I'm really noticing there's kind of a wide range of pricing, so something for everyone. That barrel butter churn is $195. A couple of wooden bowls, both without the lip on those. There's kind of a cute hanger here, the drawers with the porcelain knobs. Not particularly early piece, vintage. That one's $59.99, but it has a really nice look to it. A little bit of damage on it, but would be very cute. So again, I hear sometimes people are, the early primitives are so expensive, I can't afford to do that, or I can't afford to do that look. Well, there's all kinds of different levels of that look. And like I've said before, you can trade up. They do have some pieces here from Caruth Studio, which are handmade here in Ohio. This is a cute booth as well. There's a nice kind of chippy paint knife box or tote. That one's $149. I like that painted bicycle kit box up there. Another big tote. Can you imagine that filled with tools and then trying to carry that? That's $129. Punch tin chandelier. How cute. The Buster Brown shoe doll. Here's a box with some of the yellowy mustard kind of paint color, and a dough box in red. Another cute little apothecary. So this one is priced at $28.99. Looks like it has old knobs on it. But you can see the drawers with the pin type of nails. It's not a particularly old piece, but again, my goodness, for that price, cute addition to a kitchen. There's a dry sink with some sort of graining, it looks like, on it. Okay, here's one that is actually old. And that one is $229.99. So if you take a look at that one right there, and that one back in that corner, if you had them hanging on the wall, sure, an antique person will know the difference, but if you're just starting out, or if you want to add several pieces kind of quickly, it works. And I'm very mindful and respectful of having a budget in order to do this. You know, it's groceries aren't cheap, kids aren't cheap. If you want to go and add a little piece here and there and it makes your heart happy to be decorating your home in this style, my goodness, I have no issue with it being the $30 box versus a $300 or $400 or $500 box. I'm just happy that you like this style. Look at the size of this large bowl in there. You see the crack, very normal for an old piece to do that. And one of the reasons why it's important to soak them now and then, get them wet, especially in the extremely dry seasons. When the heaters are on. Another cute booth. Can't believe it's been so long since I've been here. I mean, it has been years and years. I think it's just sort of kind of hidden back a ways, and so it's not really, hasn't been on my beaten path, but I'm thrilled to be bringing you a new location. There's several of those spigots for barrels. Another out of round wooden bowl. That one is $99.99. That one is $69.99. Here another little apothecary cupboard. And a corner piece in an early blue. Sorry if the camera is a little wiggly. Those are pinned, but the blue is really nice. That might come with me, because that really would look neat over that antique trunk that I just picked up for the shop. So yeah, I think that one might come with me. There's a nice hanging, potentially hanging pie safe. That one's $249. Neat piece. This is a little dark back here. I hope you can see. Cute, cute stuff. So if you saw my short video about growing rhubarb and forcing rhubarb, I am thrilled with all of the comments and tips about that, because I really didn't know much about it at all. But in doing some more research, I found out that that really was something that had been done for centuries. In fact, several places they would actually grow the rhubarb inside. They would put them inside buildings or structures, and they were lit with nothing more than candlelight. But there are early rhubarb forcers. They're often made out of clay or terracotta, so they don't have to be black. I think the black just sort of helps as far as, warming the soil up to kind of kickstart it. Also, we've had this exceptionally cold early spring here, but there are some beautiful old and now being remade rhubarb forcers that actually have sort of a lid on the top. It looks like a vase that's upside down, but then there's a lid on the top. So if you're out and about, I know that that is something that I'm really going to be looking for. Probably will exceed my budget of what I want to put outside and rest on top of a rhubarb plant. But again, how fun that a garden item is also a historic and antique, has a connection that way. Kind of fun. There are some tiger maple rolling pins in there. And tools, and oh, how cute is that? Look at that, really a small, maybe a child size step back cupboard. How cute. And that is $79.99. Nice lanterns. Those are fun to put on a shepherd's hook outside. You can put some of the that special orange oil to keep the mosquitoes away. The name of that oil is not coming to me at the moment. It starts with a C. Lots of early tools. So if that is something that your partner is into, you know that this would be a fun, definitely a fun stop. There's a nice several bins. Probably from a hardware store perhaps at one time. Goodness, look at all the canning jars. Some of those look like maybe they're the purple ones. I'm looking to see if this might, I'm not seeing names of the particular dealers, but if this is maybe was it and Vintage Chicks? Could be. I like the green bench back there, and then all these wonderful little wooden chippy strawberry boxes. Lots of cute things that can be done in those. Easter eggs and all kinds of things. All right, so maybe this would be a good example while I was rambling before. Do you see the shape of that crock, that jug there in the middle? Now imagine that having a flat top with a little lid on that. The rest of it would sit over the top of the rhubarb, and you could peek in through the lid on the top. So it would look odd unless you knew what it was used for. It's like, why is it open on the bottom? But now, clearly, I just sort of wonder how many of those have I seen and didn't realize what it was over the many years. There's something I am looking for, and it's the really inexpensive import round wooden bowls, maybe in a couple different sizes, and I'll tell you why. I have 3 trunks of a tree that were taken down, that are all together, and I want to paint them to look like the little mushrooms and put those wooden bowls over the top of those little stumps that are left in our yard. Make it look like a little cluster of, well, how could that have just happened? Like a cluster of little mushrooms, 3 of them together. But I don't want to use a good bowl, I want to use just a inexpensive importy kind. It's a cute little bench back there. $29.99. There's a nice early tiered stand, like the shape of that one. A nice shelf there also. Citronella oil. I knew it would come to me eventually. Cute booth. Lots of the garden, lots of the spring look. There's a chick waterer feeder. There's a match holder with the bunny and the pheasant. Oh my goodness, look at this booth. Almost all galvanized pieces. There's the maple syrup buckets and wash buckets. Some are square, some are round. I see funnels and old wash, sink drying rack. Wow. There's square buckets, that's $39.99. $39.99. What a fun shop. It's a nice watering can back there, it looks like, with the copper spigot on it. That one's $49. So what has been your favorite unexpected find? If you're a collector, I would love to hear what you happened across and grabbed in maybe the most unexpected of places. What was that memorable? I know mine was a got-away. That was the, oh goodness, I was only about 12, but it was the little pieces that move in the wind. One was a wood chopper, I think, and I'm not sure what the other one was, but I really didn't know what I was looking for, but that was one that got away. I'd have to think for a minute to think about what my favorite big unexpected find maybe was. But I'd love to hear in the comments, what did you find? Or what have you found just this week out and about? Are yard sales and garage sales and estate sales a thing in your area? because they're definitely a thing here in our Ohio area, but I understand that's not the case everywhere. So if you don't have estate sales in your area, what do people do with their stuff when it's time to, well, I guess for lack of a better term, liquidate? Here's another really cute booth. I like that Bemis feed sack apron. That is really, really cute. Looks like maybe there are 2 of those there. I'll have to think about that. Definitely a cute garden-y themed spring booth. Cute. These little terracotta pots are adorable with that little chippy edge. Those look like little handmade ones. Those will come home with me. Here's a collection of the celluloid, the early plastic. That was something that I collected when I was a young girl, going to antique shows and shops and auctions with my mom and dad. Really pretty booth. Clearly enjoying that primitive early style. Oh gosh, look at the size of that ladder spanning the booth from one corner to the other. Really neat. Here's another one of those little spice boxes. Love the tin, the galvanized tin on the wall with the tulips in it. So fresh. I'm thinking all the surprises I'll have for the show, for our open house, that I have been putting aside. A nice big pile. It keeps growing. Thankfully, my husband is patient. I'm sure he looks at the pile. Where is this going eventually? Is this staying? Is this going? Does this have a home? Nice old wooden bowl. That one's $99. That looks maybe like a piece from Bridgewater Primitives. If you're in town also, that would be a spot perhaps to hit. They're about an hour to the east of Seville Antiques. You know, I know there's only so much that you all can hit during that time, and I've been meaning to mention it as well, so we'll just throw it out here in this video. Amish country is also very known for their wonderful garden centers and nurseries. Their plants are fabulous. So they're not going to be open on Sunday. I know the shows are Saturday, the shops are all Saturday, but if you're coming into town early, if you're driving, or if you want to come another time, honestly, the garden centers are very well worth a stop. I just picked up a bunch of bare root trees fruit trees to add to our farm. And you know what they say about planting fruit trees? What the best time is to do it? It's last year. And if not then, now. Neat, the Ride of Paul Revere. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to show you all the goodies that are outside here at the end of the video, but I hope you will take a moment to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like it, give us a thumbs up, and like I've said before, the very, very best thing that you can do for our channel is to hit that share button and share it on your social media pages. Because I don't know about you, but I want people to keep finding and saving and rescuing these treasures so that the next generation and maybe the one after that have the opportunity to add these pieces to their homes as well. You know, once they're gone, once they're in the landfill, they're gone for good. And that would just be a terrible shame. So, lots more videos coming in the next several days. I want to bring you to some of the other shops that are in the area and some even a little bit further away. I am planning on going down to Ginny Curry's in Lancaster, Ohio as well. She'll be open that long weekend that I'm not sure what the dates are. Check her out on Facebook, Curry's Antiques. And there's a couple other shops down in that area as well. So I'm going to be all over, bringing you lots of different places. So hit that little bell, because that will let you know when a new video posts. Alright, well, this is all lots of the goodies that are on the outside of the building. So I did just check. She said they really don't ship. So this is one of those kind of places that you just have to get here. Look at those wonderful vintage chairs. What a beautiful color. And there's some rocking ones. I remember my great-grandfather sitting in one very similar to that red one. Alright guys, well, here's another video from wonderful Amish country here in Ohio, and I hope you all have safe travels and journeys to get here. Make your reservations, plan it, it's worth it. One of those priceless kind of a journeys. You will not forget what you will see when you're here. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.